everybody, welcome back. It's been a minute, and as you can see today, I've got no camera because I still need to fix up my little. I need to fix this up right here. It's not working for some reason. I don't know why, but we're going to be going into our little trade recap for today. And before we do get started, everything you see on this channel is for educational, informational purposes only. Myself and the Blueprint do not provide any financial advice, investment advice, or trading recommendations of any kind. Or trading involves a significant risk. You could lose more than you invest. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial professional before making any trading decisions or investments. Cool. So let's get straight into it today. So why did I take this short? Let me preface this short as well. I'm going to say that this was not A+, and I'll explain to you in a second why. But let me kind of run through my analysis for the day. I'm in replay mode, so I don't have to keep finding this little moment right here. So coming into the day, I was actually quite bullish, but given that towards the end of Asia, we were doing this funky jazz around here for the last few hours. So you can see this is what we were doing during Asia session, right? You can see that we broke above, but then previously prior to this, it was failing to kind of keep going up. You can see all of early Asia session, it was very weak. And then you can see we got a decent strong push up. And then you can see we tested this gap in here, but we failed to break and hold above. So that kind of indicates to me that, cool, potentially we could be wanting to short. Because if we're, in a sense, kind of accumulating so much here, we should be able to break above and continue to push. We should not need to accumulate again right next to this high, right? Because if we're this close, if we just broke out at this, we should have enough momentum and pressure to continue to just keep going up and up and up and up and up. This is something that requires a little bit of time in the market to see and kind of understand a little bit more. That comes as you keep being in the market, right? And then what I saw essentially coming into it, I saw that we were accumulating, and then let me go on to a lower time frame. Yeah, so towards the end of the Asia session, I saw that we were kind of accumulating, and then we were building liquidity above this high, right? Because you can kind of see that. What did I do? Yeah, because you can kind of see right before London started, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of highs that we're putting in right around Asia highs, right? And then we sweep Asia highs, which happens to also be hourly highs, 30-minute highs, all that yada yada yada, right? And then I saw that we got a strong rejection out of it. Because I was thinking, look, if we are unable to break these highs right here with good momentum and force, then we're going to sweep it. And if we sweep it, then there's much lower liquidity below, which we're much likely going to go to, right? We're not going to go to either one. We can sweep out this, or we're going to go straight into Asia lows, which is going to be more than likely. Sorry about that. Yeah, so either we're going to sweep out this low, or we're going to come straight into Asia lows. I decided to take it into the literally less than even Asia lows. But let's see what I kind of took. If I'm a little slow this morning, sorry, I just woke up. Cool, let me turn this off. So you can see that we swept above here, and then we had our break of structure in here. And then we had our 1 minute fair value gap right there. And then I entered off this. I actually wanted to enter up here, but then spread got me in a little bit lower, as it does. And then I protected the impulse, as I do. Today was a 1 to 2. Only reason today was a 1 to 2 was because I simply could not just do 1 to 1 with 18.75 con. I honestly would have, but the only reason I couldn't was because I don't have enough. What's the word? I don't have. Okay. I didn't have enough money in the account to risk more. I don't know how to word it, right? But alpha doesn't let you go above 2 contracts if you've only got a certain amount in your account, right? I copped an L the other day, so my account balance was reduced, so the amount of contracts I could use was also reduced. So I was thinking, cool, if my contract amount is just reduced, I'll just increase my risk to reward, which I know that 37.5 works out quite nicely, as does 50 points, as does 25. So I was just like, all good. So I can just have a smaller have a smaller stop loss size and just have my take profit the exact same. So that worked out. Now, let me kind of explain why this wasn't A+, because I always preach, if we're in a chopping condition like we are around here, look, I had my reasons to enter in early, right? I've seen stuff like this play out and work out quite nicely. I can see the SSR was there. I can see who we had our break. This break was quite internal though. So as you can see, our last breaker structure technically came from here. Last breaker structure technically came from there. So our breaker structure down would have been there. You can see that doesn't end on a wick. That actually ends on a body close. You can see that's a wick. That's fine. So then, where is our protected high? Where is this would have been our overall protected high. The sweep would have been the protected high. So for me to have gotten into this and for it to have been A+, I would have had to wait for this low to break, which you can see it does on a candle break. Not a candle break, sorry. You can see it does it on a candle wick, which is not ideal, and you can see it probably does this on every other time frame too, apart from a 3-minute. So if you wanted to take it on a 3-minute break, you probably could have, right? So if you took it on a 3-minute, okay, let's kind of let's rewind it to 3-minute, right? So if you wanted to take it on a sorry, I don't know what's going on. Let's say you took it on a 3-minute, right? You would simply have just needed to waited for the first gap, which was right here. I don't even know if this actually gets tested, to be honest. Cool. So for this to have been A+, I would have just simply had to do something like this. Let's set it at 25 because that's 2 cons specifically. And let's play this out. Cool, entered, and not a speck of drawdown. So honestly, I could have entered. I could have waited for an A+ setup, and that is my bad for not doing so. But I had my reasons to get into this, right? Am I gonna try to justify myself and say what I did was right? Absolutely not. I could have waited for this A+ setup. I was a little bit impatient on the day. I had just gotten back from my trip, and I was looking to take a trade. Conditions coming into the day as well, they were quite good, and I wasn't able to get anything during the day. I wasn't actually trading during the day. I was just looking at the market. But taking this, I didn't feel too bad about it. Not just because it won, but just because it was a very clean move down. I wouldn't say that it's not an A+ setup, that's for sure. I would definitely say that this is a B tier setup. I wouldn't argue C tier, but I'd definitely say B tier because everything played out. The only thing is it's a little bit internal, and I already don't like internals, so that's why I'm not too happy about it, and I don't want to make too many excuses, but I could have just waited and gotten the exact same result. So yeah, I called this out live to the group as well. I would show you, but it's like mad messages away. Yeah, if you want to actually live trade with myself or the group, you can actually click the link in the bio, the BMT Blueprint. You can apply to work with myself, trade with the group, be a part of the community, all that funky jazz. So, cool. I will see you up. Yesterday was actually the 18th of April. I barely traded this month as well because I've just come back from a trip. But cool, we get to it. Does not matter. I will see you guys all tomorrow or next week. Yeah, take care.